Hello guys, I'm Alex Sholokhov, BIOMECH tattoo artist from Russia, St. Petersburg, and today we are visiting one of the world's best BIOMECH tattoo artists, Markus Lenhard. Hi Markus! It is true that if someone wants to book your time, they should do it 5 years in advance.
Minimum. I don't know. No, not at all. I don't have such a long waiting list. I have like a half year or a year waiting list, and I don't really plan longer than a year ahead. So it's not that hard to book a spot with me. If you have a good idea and if you have enough money, then hey, let's do it. I think it's mostly money is the problem, because they're big projects, and I like to get stuff done quickly. I like to get my projects done like within a year or at least 2 years to keep momentum going, you know, to keep everybody excited. Myself and the client, everybody needs to be excited about the piece, and that's why I like to do them fast. But that's always, of course, a problem with budget, especially if you have to travel a lot for the tattoo. But other than that, it's not really that hard to contact me. And I don't want to give the impression that I'm hard to talk to or that I'm unapproachable. I think I try to treat everybody the same.
As I know, a lot of your clients come to you from other countries, and you also got your sleeve in USA from Guy Aitchison. Is tattoo travel popular in Europe?
I think it's getting more and more popular to travel for your tattoos, as people see on the internet more and more over Instagram and over Facebook. Like, everybody kind of gets to see what's possible. So I only have people from out of town. I only have people that travel. I don't really even have anybody from close by. It's like all my clients travel for this kind of work, and that's probably also because BIOMECH is not a very popular style. So people, they will, you know, look for something very specific, and then they're willing to travel for it. I think for other styles, it's probably easier to find somebody a little bit closer by if it's a little bit more popular. But yeah, I think a lot of the guys that I know, a lot of friends of mine, have people that are willing to travel very far. That's very rewarding. I'm very proud if somebody comes from far away. I'm very proud if somebody comes to me at all. But I'm also, of course, it feels great if somebody comes from all the way from Russia, if somebody comes from Hong Kong or Singapore or America, you know, or closer by from Sweden or wherever. If somebody comes to me, I always feel like, wow, that's really something. That is really, really cool. It makes me proud.
Are there the projects that you reject straight out?
I don't really have to reject a lot of people, because most people that find me already know what they want, and they approach me because they saw something online. And every now and then I have somebody who wants something like flowers, and I never really say no to flowers or anything that I think is beautiful. I like to do that kind of stuff if they are happy to wait as long as they have to get an appointment. Things that I really reject, you know, the typical 90s BIOMECH, probably what people think is BIOMECH. Yeah, I want a piece of skin ripped away, and then under it I want to look like the Terminator, and I want to have like sprockets, you know, that'd be really cool, and maybe a couple of those chrome hoses, and then 1 or 2 eyeballs in there, and that'd be perfect. And I'm like, this is the kind of stuff where I'm like, no, I think we want something else. You know, I have enough people that agree with me on what is nice, what is a nice tattoo, what is a good idea for BIOMECH. I even have to reject people that have good ideas sometimes, because I just get too many requests, you know. So that's the downside. I have to say no to some people, even if I like the idea. That happens.
What is most important for you in relationships with your clients?
I would say trust. I think I go through quite a little bit of effort to create trust. That's why I want people to be here with me when I start drawing. I want to be trusted. that's for sure. I need them to ask all the questions that they have to ask. I need to know them to know everything that they want to know. I don't want to give them the feeling that they have to shut up or that they can't approach me or that they can't say anything. I want them to be relaxed. That is very important, relaxed and trusting. That is the most important thing. And rich. Rich is always really nice. If they're rich, that's awesome.
How did you understand what kind of design your client needs?
Well, some of the ideas, it's like what we did. You show me pictures that you like, just visual. You brought a little USB stick and you just collect pictures that you like, anything, photography, pictures of, I don't know, animals, like anything. Like, I like these colors, I like these shapes, I like this flower, I think this crab looks cool, you know, I like the colors of this flower under this crab, whatever. You just show me a couple of really nice photos and I will try to understand what you like to look at. And by that, I think I can judge what you like and what you don't like. You know, and I'll ask you questions, you know, what can I do, what can't I do? And then I try to work with that, you know, just a couple of notes. You know, he likes water, symmetry, dark and light, you know, big shapes, spikes, small shapes, round forms, you know, and that's all I need to know. And the rest, you know, people normally tell me, you know, you have do what you want, but don't do this. Do what you want. I really like this. It's pretty simple, you know. Once you have enough work, then people can show you, I really like what you did here. I liked what you did with this guy. This arm I find really nice, especially like this part of that arm I find really nice. And you know, that's a good starting point. And then I start sketching and showing people, you know, what about this? You know, it's a conversation. And through that conversation you find out what somebody likes.
What do you start with when creating the design? How do you structure your work?
Yeah, it's hard to really say because it's quite complicated. I try to keep my shapes big. I try to keep everything flowing nicely together, and on this template I build up anything that we've been talking about with my client. And that sounds really simple. It's not. It's not that simple, but yeah, in broad strokes, that's pretty much what I do.
In your experience, is a good design a strike of inspiration or a result of hard work?
Sometimes I have to work really hard to find inspiration, you know, and sometimes inspiration just finds me and then I don't have time to do anything with it, you know. I think everybody knows this problem. Most of the times when I start drawing, I have to struggle quite a bit until I find a couple of good ideas that I can work with. Some stuff that really works. It gets easier and easier the longer you do this, the bigger the library that you can draw from gets, you know, because I do recycle ideas that I had before and then I change them. And then I get inspired again. But I get inspired by the ideas of my clients, mostly. That is where I draw my creativity from. I think without my clients and without the ideas my clients sometimes have, I wouldn't be really doing anything cool, you know. So yeah, I can't really take most of the credit for that.
What is your favorite moment of the project? It is when you draw, the process of tattooing, to see the final result, or anything else?
Favorite moments, probably Probably when a tattoo is done, after a long day of tattooing, you know, everything that comes before that is a little bit more stressful, putting the stencil on, drawing. But my favorite part of the tattoo is once you're done and people check themselves out in the mirror and I can look over their shoulder and see everything in the mirror image. I think, yeah, like seeing it move and everything, I think that's a really cool moment. I enjoy that a lot. And then maybe on the next day or when they come back for the second session and then I see it, how it is healed, you know, and I see it in real life and how people live with their tattoo, you know, when they're not a tattoo, when they're not a picture, when they're alive, when they're a body part, when the hair is growing back and everything. That's probably my most favorite thing, to just see my work living. That's when I think you can really see if it works together with a person, you know, and how it changes a person's character and how they see themselves and really all of that. Yeah, I really enjoy that. That sounds really grandiose, but it's probably like seeing you sitting here with that arm, you're just living, you know. I really like looking at that arm right now. I really enjoy that we did that, and that's a good moment.
What is your attitude to the copies of your project? Can anyone really copy that?
I'm generally not very happy if people just copy my work. I'm feeling a little bit weird about seeing people being very strongly inspired by my work even. I think everybody should work really hard to develop a good taste and, you know, show that taste to the world. And if that taste only includes my work, of course that's really flattering to me. But it's also looking lazy, you know, and I think it's disrespectful to copy anything from other tattoo artists. It's disrespectful to me. It's disrespectful especially to the people that wear those tattoos, that my clients. It's very disrespectful, and it's just lazy. It's dishonorable, it's lazy, and it's unnecessary. And it's grandiose. It's really hard to do biomechanic work. And if you just copy something without understanding it, you're going to fail really hard, and everybody is going to be able to see it. And I don't know if that is a good way to be.
Can you say that you have achieved the highest level of your skill as a tattoo artist?
I hope not. I hope not. I feel very comfortable at the moment, but I hope I haven't really gotten to the highest level. That would be really sad, because then I would have to stop. Because I don't want to stay on one spot and not stop moving. I can't stop moving. I do this because it moves the whole time. It doesn't get boring. So if I would reach some kind of goal, if I would reach the peak of the mountain, where do you go? You can only go down, you know? And I'm not ready to do that yet. No, I hope not. No, definitely not.
Do you think you will always make tattoos, or maybe you will say someday, whoa, I want to change my profession?
That's a hard question. I can't really look into the future. Right now I really enjoy it, and as long as I have my clients are cool and I really like to spend time with my clients and I like biomechanical work, and you know, as long as that is given, and as long as I like tattooing, and as long as it is popular enough to make money off of it, enough so I can live a good life, I don't have to change my standards too much. I don't see, and my health, of course, you know, if I break both my hands, then this is gonna get like impossible to do. But other than that, no, this tattooing thing has been really good to me, and I hope I can keep doing it as long as possible. I don't really know what else to do, you know. But I'm not against doing anything else. If I can't do this anymore, if I don't want to do it anymore for whatever reason, I'll probably find something else that I can do. But for now, tattooing is awesome. You know, for now I'm really happy. So yeah, tattooing it is for now.
To your mind, what is the future of the BIOMECH style? Will it become mainstream, or will it remain a standalone style?
You know, I don't think that BIOMECH is really suited to ever be mainstream. I don't think it'll be ever mainstream, and if it will be, it's probably going to be really, really simplified. Not to say that mainstream is always stupid, it certainly isn't, but I think something as complicated, something that you can't really explain very well, if you also like, what is this? And I have a really hard time explaining it, stuff like that will never be mainstream, because it's always a very special taste. It's like, you know, drinking whiskey. It's not gonna be mainstream because it is an acquired taste. You have to learn to like it. You know, it's not something that you just like just naturally. It's something that you learn to like, maybe because somebody else likes it, or maybe because you got influenced by something. But no, I don't think it's gonna be mainstream anytime soon.
Will people get tattoos after 100 years in Cosmic Age?
Maybe. I don't know. That really depends on how everything pans out, right? I think people always like to look for attention, and you know, the more everybody is kind of the same on the internet, everybody's looking for more and more and more attention. You know, everybody's taking selfies, you know, and everybody's doing that kind of stuff, you know, and to make themselves unique in that stupid selfie that they're taking, yeah, probably they're gonna get a tattoo or, you know, whatever is going to be available later. We don't know, maybe. I think you always have to do something that makes you unique.
What is your favorite sci-fi movie or personage?
I have two all-time favorite movies, science fiction movies, that influenced me like nothing else, and one is Alien, the 1979 Alien movie by Ridley Scott. That is probably my number one. Watched that for like 50 times and it's never gonna get old. I love that movie so much. And 2001: A Space Odyssey. That has also been like pivotal to my design process and to the way that I think about aesthetics and you know, colors and these kinds of things, or what I think a good science fiction movie actually is. That is definitely one of the most important movies in sci-fi ever made. 2001: Space Odyssey and Alien, those two are great, yeah.
What would you like to say to BIOMECH fans from Russia and all world?
Well, I hope that most people keep enjoying the stuff that I do. I hope that like people that enjoy BIOMECH will find me and will like my stuff and will you know, tell others about my work and, you know, learn about BIOMECH and maybe learn about looking out into nature and enjoying nature a little bit more and looking for these little things that make the world more beautiful and more aesthetic, and just enjoy life a little bit more, you know. And I think for me personally, that is what this work gives me. It gives me an appreciation for visual, beautiful things in nature and everywhere in life. It helps me to see it. I don't think that I would be able to appreciate the world. Yeah, and that sounds really grandiose, but I don't think I would appreciate the world as much if it wasn't for BIOMECH. So I hope everybody feels the same, and I hope maybe if not, maybe you learn to feel the same at some point, hopefully, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Markus, for this interview.
Thank you.
I've had a good time. It was Alex Sholokhov and world-famous BIOMECH tattoo artist Markus Lenhard.
I'll be back.
If you enjoyed this video, put a like and follow my YouTube channel. See you again. Thank you.